My name is Dr. Erica Steele, and I'm a holistic doctor in family practice. We are talking all this month about minority mental health. And today we're really going to talk about culture and how culture impacts. We're also going to talk about heritage and how heritage especially impacts our health. I know when I was in my master's in public health, we learned about all different types of cultures and backgrounds and how different cultures view different things with their health. And it was absolutely fascinating because our cultural heritage definitely informs our decision making when we're in the healthcare space. That's why I think it's incredibly important to find providers who are culturally sensitive, they're understanding, because what works maybe for a European person may not necessarily work for someone of color or someone from another more indigenous background. Also, too, it's important to understand your genetics and understand how your body processes nutrients, how your body detoxifies, because all of that information can really help empower you to be able to choose the different lifestyle components that work. So for me, Irish, Scot, English, African, and then 3 parts Native, the Irish, Scot, and Native and African lines really informed my digestion. And so it affected my liver and undermethylation. So I consume a high protein, low fat diet because that really optimizes my liver function and allows me to detoxify more efficiently because my body is sluggish in detoxifying. And that's all information I find from genetic testing. So not just the cultural components, but also to real evidence, science that we can utilize to be able to determine. Now, there are some natural philosophical things. So, because my body doesn't, assimilate toxicity as easily as some of my other European counterparts, I also want to be mindful of my detoxification regimens and make sure that I am maintaining that so that my mental and my emotional state can stay well balanced. Because if my digestive system's not working well, if my liver's not working well, then more than likely my mental health is not going to work. And that's just because in that area of the genetics, there's instabilities around the nervous system. And it is my understanding and my theory that that comes from trauma that's been passed down in our DNA that also has been researched too. So it's not something I'm completely making up. So understanding your heritage helps on so many different levels, where your people have come from, what your people have experienced, and how your people process things like toxicity or nutrients is incredibly important. Finding a healthcare professional that is sensitive to that and understanding of that information is also incredibly important, because if they're looking at you like every single other person, that really isn't going to help. Same thing with your mental health. So I know this month is all about mental health, so I don't want to digress too much into a digestive conversation, but we do know that majority of the immune system, hormonal system, and neurological system is all housed within the digestive tract. So first and foremost, before we deal with mental health, we have to deal with gut health, because if we don't stabilize our gut, then our mental and our emotional state is not going to come into alignment. And so that's the physiological components of it. In our next video, we'll talk all about self-care practices that help with the mind and the emotions, because we need tools for everything. So if your nutrition is not stable and your gut is not stable, then naturally your mental and your emotional state, I don't care how many affirmations you do, how much meditation you do, if your physiology is not going to be strong enough, your physiology is your function. If that's not capable to support your amino acids or support your liver function or support the gut microbiology, you're going to run into challenge, especially when you're trying to stabilize your mental health. So hopefully that was informative for you. If you're interested in looking deeper at your genetics and your cultural heritage and how that may impact your physical, mental, and emotional state, please follow me for more and comment below.